Welcome to this video on app development with .NET MAUI, also known as MAUI. In this video, we'll dive into how .NET MAUI simplifies building cross-platform applications, giving you the tools to create beautiful native apps for Android, iOS, macOS, and Windows, all from a single code base. Unlike every time, I'm not referring to Flutter today. You'll also learn about the exciting world of native app development, its frameworks, and how companies are driving this innovation into the space. With the rapid growth in mobile technology, this is a promising career path filled with endless opportunities. As an app developer, I was asked by a client of mine who already had a pool of .NET developers. They already had their web application developed solely on .NET and were successful in handling their business acumen. However, his problem came in where the business was demanding a mobile app which could further scale their user base. This is where I discovered MAUI. Let's get started and explore what makes .NET MAUI a game changer for .NET developers. History. Microsoft acquired Xamarin in 2016 when Xamarin Forms was pretty much useless for any complex task. Since then, they turned Xamarin Forms into a stable, polished, and production-ready platform. In 2020, they decided to change it completely to MAUI. They reworked on its architecture, enabled desktop development, and added a whole abstraction layer that was overhauled into lighter, handler, and smaller components. Loads of core mechanisms were reworked. Let's talk about the benefits. Microsoft has positioned .NET MAUI more for enterprise developers and organizations that have already entrenched in the .NET ecosystem. It supports Flutter-like features like hot reload, making it easier to adjust UI and functionality during development. If a company already uses C#, Azure, and other Microsoft tools, adopting MAUI is a natural progression for cross-platform development. That's because .NET MAUI utilizes native UI component, it offers closer ties to the hardware, and APIs which may be critical for performance and platform-specific features. Well, there exists something called as Blazor, which is a .NET framework that supports both server-side and client-side interactivity, and that too in a single programming model. The integration with .NET MAUI allows developers to build hybrid applications that share code and libraries between web and native. .NET MAUI also serves developers creating desktop-first applications. It helps businesses that need strong integration with enterprise and cloud services like Azure. Now, particularly, it finds appealing when it has got stability, scalability, and long-term support, which are all present in .NET MAUI. Here are some things which I found disappointing when I discovered MAUI. MAUI uses XML for creating screen designs. While the entire world in Android wanted to move out of their apps, this XML thing, I did not understand why Microsoft still wanted to keep developers working with XML. Writing and maintaining long, detailed XML files can make it harder to manage, especially in large applications. The large amount of markup required for simple UI tasks can reduce readability and increase the risk of errors. XML-based UIs in MAUI can introduce a performance overhead, hence parsing and rendering becomes difficult. The UI described in XML, which needs to be interpreted at runtime, adds an extra processing step. This can result in slower app and especially when the UI is complex. Hence, it is particularly noticeable on low-end devices. Lastly, hot reload has its limitations. Let me explain the problem first. While the Visual Studio offers XML support, it includes design previews, it includes real-time visual feedback, but it is not accurate as expected. So this makes iterative development slower, as developers have to rebuild or refresh their app frequently to see the impact of UI changes, especially for complex layouts. Here are some biggest red flags that I discovered. There are very less production apps in Play Store and App Store, which is a very big red flag with MAUI. However, you might argue that it has been 3 years since it's been released. But according to my research, I only found 3 apps. That is Microsoft 365, Microsoft Azure, Store Commerce. It was developed using MAUI. While these apps are critical for the users, they lack the mass appeal and wide adoption seen in consumer-facing apps developed with Flutter. Flutter-developed apps like Google Pay and AdSense cater to a global consumer-driven market, offering accessible, feature-rich experiences to millions of users. Their success stems from Flutter's ability to create a polished, cross-platform app that too quickly and efficiently, hence making them ideal for apps that need mass market adoption. In summary, the difference in target audience, user base, and design makes the Flutter app why they tend to have so much huge larger base, while MAUI apps remain essential for specific businesses within the Microsoft ecosystem. Now coming to, is reverse engineering possible with .NET MAUI? Reverse engineering means taking a part to understand how it works. Imagine you have a machine or a gadget, but you don't have the instruction manual. To figure out how it was built or how it works, you would take out piece by piece to see its components and understand its functions. For an app, reverse engineering involves looking at the code structure and understand how the app developers made it. This might include finding out how the app processes information, what feature it uses, how it interacts with the other systems. While .NET MAUI offers developers more versatility and control, the application security is still a primary concern. Tools like preemptive .fuzcator are developers' choice for advanced obfuscation, and it has been built with .NET MAUI. Now, the reverse engineering and the data breaches it leads are still vulnerable. However, it was not found that MAUI is open to threats. Thank you for watching this video on .NET MAUI. I hope now you have a solid understanding of how this framework works and how you can use it to build powerful cross-platform apps. As you saw, gathering all this information wasn't easy. Bringing together insights from multiple sources, explaining things clearly, took a lot of efforts. If you found this video helpful and want to see more content like this, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Programming Hub tutorials for more tips and updates on development topics. Your support means the world to us. Happy coding!